Greetings to the chief and those dear brothers in the Lord there in Esiama, Ghana, West Africa, and actually maybe this might be shown around the country. And so we thank you for the opportunity that you've given to me to share with you and the dear people there in Esiama. What a blessing it has been for our church and Lottie and I to help support the work there in Esiama and what God is doing through your lives and ours as we try to help in the ways that we have been able to over the years. I'm very thankful to the Lord that God brought Charles Niani into my life and yours into my life back in 1986 when Billy Graham invited Charles from Ghana and myself from the U.S. to share at the conference that Billy Graham held there in Amsterdam, Holland. And Charles and I sat side by side and we introduced ourselves to each other, and then he asked me during our conversation how the ark is going, and after I explained to him about God building the ark here in Frostburg, and he asked me would I come to Esiama, Ghana, and share the message about the ark and the end times. And so I said I'd pray. 2 years later, 1988, God told me to go. And so we arrived there in 1988 there in Accra and then out to Esiama and shared on the land 55 acres, I believe, that God provided for Charles's vision for the Christian school, the Bible school, and the orphanage, and now the nursing school. And I understand it's one of the finest, if not the finest, there in Ghana. So we're really proud of you all and what you've done in the work there in Esiama, and I know it's gone into other parts of the country as you have graduated not only students from the school that have gone on to the bush countries and cities in your country, and the nursing students are doing the same. I had the blessing to be at the first graduation of the nursing students, and there was 25. And when I walked into that room where those 25 students were that were graduating, I thought the roof was going to come off that building when I walked into it, as they were so thankful for their graduation and that I was able to be there with them. And so we are very thankful for what God is doing there in helping that ministry. And a blessing that you've been to Ghana and to many other countries that surrounds Ghana. The last prayer that I have is that I can visit you one more time before God calls me home. And of course, we never know when that day is. Only God knows that day. But I wanted to come for a long time, but I've had a disease come upon me called neuropathy, where your hands and feet are in pain constantly, and sometimes it's even severe. It rises at different times. But God is in charge, and if I can come, I'll be there one day. If not, you'll have this film to be reminded of the little part that Lottie and I in the church here has had. I'm writing my second book now, and hopefully it'll be done in the next few months. From the writer, the English writer that's helping me to edit and put it all together. And it will go across on eBay or one of those things that they can send across the world. And it'll go across where you can pick it up on your little cell phones or different ways that it can pick it up across the world. So it won't be like a book that we published for the first time. The book was, we published, I think it was 5,000 of those, and they went very quickly. So, but this one is going to go across the world through the eBay and the footage that you can do now. But we are very thankful that you have allowed Charles to come to the U.S. and so he can help raise money for the work God has established in Esiama. And we would encourage you to keep him in prayer, and that the Lord would bless him as he helps raise that money to help you all as you work together for God's goodness there in building a loving kingdom on earth, as well as in, right there in Esiama and Accra and Takoradi and a lot of the countries that are around there. You folks are really touching lots of people, and we're so proud of you. And those that have hung in there all these years and oversaw the work there, I'm really proud of you and encourage you to keep on keeping on. And for the Christians that are standing with you, I want to thank you for your help, because it's not just the leaders there that need help, but they need you to jump in there and volunteer your time to help any way that you can. I hope my grandson Tony will be able to come and visit you with the team next year. They're going to think about it and pray about it, and I'm hoping they will go. He's a young man now, police officer in his trade, was in the Air Force for several years, I think about 20, and he's retired from the Air Force and just doing police work, but he will be retiring soon from that. But he's talking now about ministering and going to Ghana with his family and some other people. So when he gets there, I'm hoping that he will. I'm hoping some of my family from Michigan and here in Maryland and Ohio will be able to come and be my visitor for me, because my heart is with you all, as it is with Charles while he's here. But do keep him in prayer, because he misses his family and being at home. Believe you me, I traveled in 52 countries, and there's no place like home. So he's missing home and all his children and all that he does to help you all. May God bless you as you labor for the Lord. Keep on keeping on is my theme, one of my many themes. And over the years, I've had to keep on keeping on. Just here a couple months ago, I fell and busted a hole in my skull, and I was bleeding in the brain. But God helped and got this bleeding stopped, and here I am talking to you. And it really kept me from coming. So Charles said, "Why don't you put it on tape for me, Daddy?" So here we are. May God bless and keep you all. I love you in Jesus. Maranatha.